The crystal ship Harmony's Dawn floated quietly near Earth's moon. Inside the ship, Ambassador Velnox looked at the strange readings on his screen. His long, crystal fingers tapped nervously on the control panel. "These humans are very different," he whispered to his aide Zarthek. "Both aliens had skin that looked like clear glass with colors moving inside like water. They were from a peaceful planet where the biggest animals were small creatures that ate flowers." Zarthek pointed at the scanner with worry. "Sir, look at these readings. The human ships have huge predators living on them. The computer says they have sharp teeth and strong jaws that can break bones." Velnox felt cold fear move through his crystal body. In all his years as a diplomat, he had met many alien species. Some were scary, some were strange, but none of them lived with dangerous monsters. Why would the humans keep such terrible creatures on their ships? "Maybe they are prisoners," Zarthek suggested. "Maybe the humans caught these beasts and locked them up. Or maybe," Security Chief Mordak said as he walked over, "the humans use them as weapons. Look at this data." He showed them a screen full of numbers. "These creatures can run fast. They hunt in groups, and their bite is stronger than most military weapons we know." Velnox stared at the numbers. The creatures were called different names: German Shepherd, Great Dane, Golden Retriever. The names sounded like military codes. Each type seemed to have different skills. Some were big and strong. Others were fast and smart. "The biggest human space station has 12 of these monsters," Mordak continued. 12. And that's just one station. The computer counted hundreds more on their other ships. The communication system made a soft sound. A friendly human voice came through the speakers. "Hello there. This is Captain Minho Kim from the station New Seoul. We're so excited to meet you. Our whole crew has been waiting for this day. Even our four-legged friends are excited to say hello." The translation computer worked hard to understand the words four-legged friends. It made strange sounds as it tried different meanings. Finally, it settled on quadrupedal pack hunters. Velnox felt his crystal skin grow darker with fear. The humans call these terrible creatures their friends. What kind of species makes friends with monsters? "Sir," the communications officer called out, "the humans are asking if we want to visit their station. They say they have prepared a welcome party." Zarthek looked at the scanner again. The life signs are very strong. These creatures are definitely alive and moving around freely on their station. They're not in cages. Velnox tried to stay calm, but his mind was full of terrible thoughts. Maybe the humans fed prisoners to these beasts. Maybe they trained them to attack other alien species. The Galactic Council had sent him here to make friends with the humans and invite them to join the peaceful alliance of planets. But how could they invite a species that live with monsters? "The humans are waiting for an answer," the communications officer said quietly. Through the big window of their ship, Velnox could see the human station spinning slowly in space. It looked normal and peaceful. Pretty lights shone from its windows. But now he knew that inside those windows, terrible creatures walked freely among the humans. "Sir, what should we tell them?" Zarthek asked. Velnox thought about his choices. He could fly away and tell the Galactic Council that humans were too dangerous. He could send a warning to all peaceful planets to stay away from Earth. But that would mean no trade, no friendship, no sharing of knowledge. Or he could be brave. He could visit the human station and try to understand why they lived with such dangerous animals. Maybe there was something he didn't know. Maybe there was a good reason. "Run a full scan of their station," he ordered. "I want to know everything about these creatures before we get close." The scanner worked for several minutes. When it finished, the results made everyone more worried. The creatures moved in groups. They followed the humans around the station. Some were huge, bigger than Velnox himself. Others were smaller, but looked just as dangerous. "The strangest thing," Mordak said, reading the data, "is that the creatures seem to obey the humans. When a human moves, the creature follows. When the human stops, the creature stops too. Perfect military training," Zarthek whispered. "The humans have turned wild beasts into loyal soldiers." Velnox made his decision. "Tell the humans we will visit their station, but keep our weapons ready and our ship prepared to leave quickly if needed. Yes, sir, the communications officer replied. Captain Kim, we accept your invitation. We will dock in 30 minutes. The human voice sounded happy. Wonderful. We can't wait to introduce you to everyone. The dogs are going to love meeting you. The translation computer made more strange sounds trying to understand the word dogs. It finally decided the word meant loyal war beasts. As their ship moved toward the human station, Velnox wondered if he was making the biggest mistake of his diplomatic career. The docking bay doors opened with a soft hiss. Velnox stepped through the airlock, his crystal body reflecting the bright lights of the human station. Behind him, 3 security officers held their weapons ready but hidden. The first human he saw was tall with dark hair and kind eyes. This had to be Captain Minho Kim. Next to him stood Dr. Jihai Park, a woman with a gentle smile. But what made Velnox freeze in terror were the 2 massive creatures standing beside the humans. The bigger creature was dark-colored with pointed ears and intelligent eyes. It was huge, almost as big as Velnox himself. Its mouth was slightly open, showing rows of sharp white teeth. The other creature was even taller, with short fur and long legs. When it turned its head to look at the aliens, Velnox could see powerful muscles moving under its skin. Welcome to our home, Captain Kim said with a big smile. I'm so happy you're here. These are my best friends, Rex and Luna. They've been so excited to meet you. The translation computer in Velnox's head changed the words. What he heard was, Behold my greatest weapons, Fong and Deathbringer. They hunger for fresh alien flesh. Rex, hearing his name, did what dogs do when they meet new people. He wagged his tail and walked forward with his tongue hanging out happily. To Rex, these strange crystal visitors were just new friends to meet. But to Velnox, a 100-pound predator was approaching with clear hunting intent. The creature's mouth was open, showing its deadly teeth. Its eyes were locked on Velnox like a hunter watching prey. No, Security Chief Mordak shouted, pulling out his plasma weapon. Stay back, beast. Whoa, whoa. Captain Kim laughed, putting his hands up. It's okay. Rex just wants to say hello. Look, he's wagging his tail. He's such a good boy. The words good boy went through the translation computer. It searched through military databases and language patterns. The closest match it could find was loyal killer beast or perfect warrior. Velnox watched in horror as the massive predator called Rex sat down right in front of him. The creature was close enough to attack. Its breath was warm on Velnox's crystal skin. Those terrible teeth were just inches away. But then something strange happened. Rex tilted his head to one side and made a soft sound. His tail kept moving back and forth against the floor. His eyes looked happy, not angry. Oh, he likes you, Dr. Park said with delight. Look, Luna wants to meet you too. The even bigger creature, called Luna, walked over slowly. She was so tall that when she sat down, her head was level with Velnox's chest. She looked at him with big, gentle eyes and made the same soft, panting sound. Your loyal killer beasts, Velnox said carefully. They seem to be studying me. Captain Kim looked confused. Killer beasts? Oh no, they're not killers. They're pets. Family members. Rex here was a rescue dog. Someone left him at a shelter when he was just a puppy. The word rescue made the translation computer work hard. It decided this meant captured enemy soldier or prisoner of war. So Rex was a prisoner who had been trained to serve the humans. And Luna, Dr. Park added, reaching out to gently touch the big dog's head. She's been with me since she was 8 weeks old. I raised her myself. She's like my baby. Velnox watched in amazement as the human female put her hand near the creature's head. The spot she touched was right behind the ears, a place where any attack would be deadly. But instead of attacking, Luna closed her eyes and leaned into the touch. She looked happy. She enjoys your dominance display, Velnox whispered. Thinking he understood, the humans showed their power over these beasts by touching their vulnerable spots. Dominance. Dr. Park laughed. No, she just loves getting petted. Don't you, girl? The word girl confused the translation computer even more. It decided this meant female warrior or breeding stock. Rex suddenly stood up and walked to a corner of the docking bay. He picked up a round, bouncy object in his mouth and brought it back to Velnox. The object was bright green and covered in teeth marks. "Oh, wow." Captain Kim grinned. "Rex brought you his favorite ball. That's special. He doesn't share his toys with just anyone." To Velnox, the toy looked like a compressed skull from some unlucky victim. The teeth marks showed where the beast had been practicing its killing bite, and now this predator was offering the remains of its prey. Rex dropped the ball at Velnox's feet and sat back down. His tail wagged faster as he looked up at the alien ambassador with hopeful eyes. "He wants to play fetch," Dr. Park explained. "If you throw the ball, he'll run and bring it back. It's his favorite game." The translation computer worked with the word fetch. It decided this meant retrieve kill prey or hunting practice. Velnox stared down at the ball, then up at Rex's expectant face, then at the humans who were smiling like nothing dangerous was happening at all. The dining hall of the space station was warm and bright. Velnox sat carefully at the human table, trying to look calm while Rex and Luna lay on the floor nearby. Every few minutes, one of the creatures would lift its head to look at him with those dark, intelligent eyes. Engineer Dongmin Choi was telling stories about his life on Earth. He seemed very happy and relaxed, not like someone who lived with dangerous monsters. "Back home, I have my own pack," Dongmin said proudly. 5 of them, all rescues from the streets. 2 Jindos, 1 Maltese, and 2 mixed breeds. They're my whole world. The translation computer buzzed in Velnox's head. The word pack was clear. It meant a hunting group. Rescues meant captured prisoners. This human had 5 war beasts under his control, all taken from enemy territory. 5? Zarthek whispered in shock. How does he control so many? Dongmin pulled out his communication device and showed them pictures. The first image showed 2 large, white creatures with pointed ears and curled tails. Their eyes looked smart and alert. "These are my Jindos back in Hanul," he explained. "Jindos are very loyal but independent. They were bred for hunting in the mountains of Korea." Velnox studied the image. Mountain hunters. Perfect for rough terrain warfare. The creatures looked strong and fast. The next picture showed a tiny, white fluffy creature sitting in Dongmin's lap. Even though it was small, Velnox could see the same sharp teeth and alert eyes as the bigger ones. "This little guy is Bori," Dongmin said softly. "I found him during winter, almost frozen to death. He was so sick and scared. Now look at him. He rules the whole house." The word rules made the aliens exchange worried looks. Even the smallest of these creatures was trained to be a leader. This Bori might be tiny, but it was clearly the pack commander. "And here are my 2 mutts, Komi and Duri," Dongmin continued, showing pictures of 2 brown dogs playing a yard. Nobody wanted them because they weren't pure breeds, but they're the sweetest, most loving dogs you could ever meet. The translation computer struggled with sweetest and loving. It finally decided these meant most efficient killers and perfectly obedient. Dr. Park leaned over to see the pictures. "Oh, they're beautiful. I bet they keep you busy." "They do." Dongmin laughed. "Especially when they all want to play at the same time. 5 dogs playing fetch in a small apartment gets crazy very quickly." Velnox's crystal skin grew darker. This human kept 5 trained predators in his living space and let them practice hunting games whenever they wanted. How did he survive? Chef Sujin Han appeared from the kitchen carrying a large metal tray. "Dinner time," she called out cheerfully. Rex and Luna immediately stood up, their tails wagging. They walked over to Chef Han and sat down politely, waiting. "Good boys," she said, setting down the tray. Velnox looked at the tray and felt sick. It was full of chunks of raw, red meat. The smell of blood filled the air. The 2 creatures began eating immediately, their powerful jaws making quick work of the flesh. "We feed them twice a day," Chef Han explained to the aliens. "Fresh meat, some vegetables, and special vitamins to keep them healthy and strong." Healthy and strong for battle, Velnox thought. The humans were keeping these predators in perfect fighting condition. "Do they ever fight over food?" Mordak asked nervously. Captain Kim shook his head. Rex and Luna? Never. They're very well trained. They know their manners. Battle discipline. The translation computer decided. These creatures were trained never to fight each other, saving all their aggression for enemies. While the two big creatures ate their bloody meal, a small sound caught Velnox's attention. Tiny feet were clicking on the metal floor. He turned to see the smallest predator yet approaching their table. It was barely as tall as Velnox's knee, with short legs, long body, and huge ears. Its fur was orange and white, and its tail was wagging so hard its whole back wiggled. "Oh, here comes trouble," Dr. Park laughed. "This is Machi, my corgi. She thinks she's as big as Rex and Luna." The small creature walked directly to Velnox's chair. In her mouth, she carried a bright yellow ball, covered in bite marks and wet with saliva. She looked up at him with dark, bright eyes. "She wants to play," Captain Kim said. "Machi loves meeting new people." The tiny predator dropped the yellow object at Velnox's feet. It bounced once and rolled to a stop. The creature sat down and stared up at him expectantly, her small tail still wagging. "That's her favorite tennis ball," Dr. Park explained. "She carries it everywhere. If she brings it to you, it means she likes you and wants to be friends." Velnox stared down at the small, yellow sphere. To him, it looked like a compressed skull, painted bright yellow as a trophy. This tiny but clearly vicious pack leader had just offered him the remains of a kill. The worst part was that all the humans were smiling at him, waiting to see what he would do with a gift from their smallest, deadliest warrior. The great meeting hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with worried voices. Hundreds of alien representatives from across the galaxy sat in their floating chairs, all looking at the big screen where Ambassador Velnox was giving his report. "The situation is much worse than we first thought," Velnox said, his crystal body glowing red with stress. "These humans don't just live with dangerous predators. They have created a perfect partnership with them." He pressed a button, and images appeared on the screen. The council members gasped as they saw huge creatures with sharp teeth walking freely among humans on the space station. "Look at this data," Velnox continued. "The creatures called German shepherds can run 30 miles per hour and have a bite force of over 230 pounds per square inch. The Great Danes are even bigger, some weighing over 180 pounds. And watch this." The screen showed Captain Kim saying "sit" to Rex. The big creature immediately sat down and looked at the human with perfect attention. "The humans use simple voice commands to control these beasts," Velnox explained. "The word sit makes them take a ready position. The phrase good boy puts them into a state of heightened loyalty." Counselor Thexera, a large reptile with green scales, leaned forward with interest. Her people were warriors who respected strength. "These beast masters could be valuable allies," she said. "Imagine having human soldiers and their predator companions fighting beside us." "Absolutely not," shouted Counselor Yilma from across the room. His people were peaceful plant eaters who were afraid of any violence. "We must create a barrier around their solar system immediately. What happens when they decide to expand their territory with these monsters?" Dr. Zixlin, the council's chief scientist, was studying the biological data on her screen. Her 4 eyes moved quickly as she read the numbers. "This is incredible," she whispered. "Look at the variety. They have small ones for stealth missions, medium ones for pack coordination, and large ones for direct assault. The humans have been breeding these creatures for thousands of years, creating the perfect biological weapons." She pointed to different images on her screen. "This tiny one called a Chihuahua weighs only 6 pounds, but shows extreme aggression. Perfect for infiltration. This golden retriever is trained to retrieve objects, clearly for collecting enemy intelligence. And this border collie can control the movement of other animals, obviously for battlefield command." While the council debated, they had no idea what was really happening on Earth. In millions of homes across the planet, dogs were doing very normal dog things. A golden retriever named Sunny was playing fetch with a little girl in a park. A German shepherd named Max was helping his blind owner cross the street safely. 3 corgis were competing to see who could catch the most bubbles being blown by their laughing family. But the alien intelligence team watching Earth's internet saw these activities very differently. When they saw the little girl throwing a ball for Sunny, they recorded it as human child conducting retrieval training with biological weapon. When they saw Max guiding his owner, they wrote, Predator demonstrates advanced protective escort protocols. The bubble-chasing corgis were labeled as small assault units practicing aerial target acquisition. Back in the council chamber, the debate was getting louder. Some species wanted to make friends with the humans and their weapons. Others wanted to attack Earth before the humans could attack them. A few suggested trying to steal some of the creatures for their own armies. We could offer them trade agreements, suggested Councilor Rex Tar, whose people were merchants. Maybe they would sell us some of their smaller predators. Or we could study them, added Dr. Zixlin. If we can understand how the humans control these beasts, we might be able to create our own. Counselor Velnox activated another video clip. It showed engineer Dongmin talking about his 5 dogs at home. To the aliens, this looked like a military report about maintaining multiple biological weapons. Notice how casually he discusses his pack. Velnox pointed out, 5 creatures under the control of 1 human. And he mentions that some were rescued, meaning captured from hostile territory and retrained for loyalty. The translation computers throughout the council chamber worked overtime as they tried to understand human-dog relationships. When they processed videos of dogs sleeping on human beds, they concluded this was close-quarters tactical positioning. When they saw humans giving dogs treats, they decided it was performance-based reward conditioning. The most disturbing discovery came when the intelligence team found videos of something called dog shows. Hundreds of humans gathered in large buildings to watch their creatures perform different tasks. Some jumped over barriers, others walked in perfect formations, and some even danced with their human partners. Military competitions, Dr. Zixlin announced to the council. They're testing their creatures' abilities in public contests. Look at this precision, this training, this coordination between human and beast. As the debate continued for hours, one junior researcher named Kipera sat quietly in the back, watching all the evidence. Something felt wrong to her, but she couldn't figure out what it was. The humans in the videos looked happy, not scared. The creatures seemed calm and friendly, not aggressive. But every time she tried to speak up, the older, more experienced council members ignored her. Kipera sat alone in the research room long after the other aliens had left. Her purple skin glowed softly in the dim light as she watched the human videos for the 100th time. Something was bothering her, like a puzzle piece that didn't fit. She pulled up a video of engineer Dongmin talking about his dogs. All the other aliens saw a military commander discussing his weapons. But Kipera noticed something different. She watched Dongmin's face carefully. When he talked about his dogs, his eyes became soft and happy. His voice was gentle. This wasn't how warriors talked about weapons. "Computer, show me more videos of humans with their creatures," she said quietly. Hundreds of files appeared on her screen. Videos from Earth's internet showed humans doing all kinds of things with dogs. Kipera began to watch them one by one, looking for something the others had missed. In one video, a small human child was sitting on the floor. A big golden retriever walked over and lay down next to the child. The child put her tiny arms around the dog's neck and hugged him. The dog's tail wagged slowly, and he gently licked the child's face. "Computer, analyze the human child's stress levels," Kipera ordered. "Human child shows no fear," the computer replied. "Heart rate is normal. Body language indicates happiness and comfort." That was strange. If these were dangerous predators, why wasn't the child afraid? Kipera found another video. An old human man was sitting in a chair. A small dog jumped onto his lap and curled up in a ball. The man smiled and gently petted the dog while they both fell asleep. "Computer, why would a human allow a predator so close to his vulnerable areas?" "Unknown," the computer answered. "This behavior does not match any known military protocol." For 3 hours, Kipera watched video after video. She saw humans and dogs playing in parks, sleeping together, even sharing food. The more she watched, the more confused she became. These didn't look like military relationships at all. Then she found a special video. A young human woman was crying. She looked very sad about something. A medium-sized dog with floppy ears walked over to her. Instead of attacking when she was weak, the dog gently put his head on her lap and looked up at her with kind eyes. The woman hugged the dog, and slowly her crying stopped. "Computer, what is the dog doing to the human?" Kipera asked. "The creature appears to be providing comfort," the computer said, sounding confused. Kipera felt her heart beating faster. Providing comfort. That wasn't what weapons did. That was what friends did. She ran to the council chamber where Ambassador Velnox was still showing his military analysis to other representatives. "Counselor Velnox," she called out, "I need to show you something." "Not now, Kipera," he said without looking at her. "We're discussing defense strategies." "But, sir, I think we're wrong about the humans and their creatures." The room went quiet. All the important aliens turned to look at the young researcher. "Wrong." Counselor Thexera laughed. "Child, we have mountains of evidence. These are clearly biological weapons. Please, just watch one video with me," Kipera begged. She activated the big screen and played the video of the crying woman and the comforting dog. "Look at their faces," she said. "Really look at them. Does this look like a weapon comforting its master? Or does it look like a friend helping a friend?" The council members watched in silence. For the first time, they saw the gentleness in the dog's eyes, the gratitude in the woman's face. "It could be advanced psychological manipulation," Dr. Zixlin suggested, but her voice was uncertain. Kipera played another video. This one showed a family with 3 children and 2 dogs having a picnic. The dogs were running around, playing with the children, catching flying discs in their mouths. Everyone was laughing and having fun. "Computer, open communication channel to human station," Kipera said boldly. "Kipera, you don't have authority to—" Velnox started. But it was too late. Dr. Jihai Park's friendly face appeared on the screen. "Oh, hello again," she said happily. "How nice to see you." "Dr. Park," Kipera said carefully, "we have been studying your creatures. We want to understand them better." "Our dogs." Dr. Park smiled. "Of course. What would you like to know? Are they weapons?" Kipera asked directly. Dr. Park looked shocked. "Weapons? Oh no. Dogs aren't weapons. They're companions, friends, family members. But they have sharp teeth and strong jaws," Counselor Thexera interrupted. "Well, yes, but they don't use them to hurt people," Dr. Park explained. "We humans took wild wolves thousands of years ago and slowly, over many generations, bred them to be gentle and loyal. We created different types for different jobs, some to help hunt for food, some protect sheep, some just to be friends." She paused and smiled. "The amazing thing is, we turn dangerous predators into loving companions through patience and kindness. Dogs live to make humans happy. When we say good boy, we're just telling them we love them and they've done something right." The council chamber was completely silent. Finally, Counselor Velnox spoke. "So they're not weapons at all?" "They're the opposite of weapons," Dr. Park said gently. "They're proof that love can change everything."